Hi everybody, this is video number 2 of hopefully more. This is at Homestead, the Miami road course. In the touring cars, it's a medium length race of 13 laps. Usually I do not qualify, but today I did because I love running at this track. This track is one of my favorites, and usually the Infield road course at ovals I'm not a fan of, but this one I am. It flows really well. There's some really good passing opportunities, several good passing opportunities on this track, so we're going to enjoy this. Voldemort was close. He was, I believe, 4/10 of a second off of me. Placebo Frock was more around a second, and we're going to have an alien. He is fast. I'm not kidding when I say that. Dude was fast, so it's going to be a fun race. It was exciting at the end too, so I hope you enjoy all of this, the action that we've got going on here. We're heading down to the hairpin, the second hairpin. Broke a little late here and almost became a lawnmower, but in that case we didn't, so we're okay. But it kept Voldemort way too close. This is a theme. All I can tell you is it's a theme. Voldemort was on me for these first few laps. It was fun racing. It was clean racing, which is even better. So that makes it a lot more fun. Heading through the chicane here as we come to the end of lap 1. Placebo Frock is a second and a half. Voldemort is 4/10 of a second behind as we cross the line. We are not pulling away, so makes me a little nervous, but I'm just going to drive my race. Heading into turn 2, come out of there, we get a little distance, but Voldemort closes up again, and now we head into 3, and had a little trouble there, but you know, we're still keeping him a half a second behind. He's still in draft range, which we don't like, but that's just the way it is. So I'm taping this after trying to watch F1 qualifying, and it bored me. In fact, I took a nap during it, so if anyone knows what happened during the cutter qualifying today, please let me know. We're heading down into the hairpin again. Voldemort is keeping pace. The other cars are starting to fall back as we get into the hairpin, which I blow again. See? Theme race. We get out of there okay. Voldemort closes up a couple seconds, a couple tenths of a second, and we're just not having it, apparently. Heading into the final corners here. This is a third gear, and then we're going to head into the chicane again. This is, a lot of people don't take it that fast. This Voldemort does. I take it pretty quick. Makes me happy. And our alien has just popped up on the screen here on lap 2. It is Bush. RMS Bush is fast. I can't explain it. It's probably a talent level thing. I mean, I'm an old man, so it doesn't help. Reaction times aren't quite there, but, you know, Bush is just fast. We're in this Honda Civic. I think he's in an Audi. Nice helicopter up there. Hello, helicopter. So here comes Voldemort. On the outside, I'm going to defend a little bit because I didn't really take those series of corners coming off the banking very well. But we were able to defend in the hairpin there. And now we're heading down the back straight, or one of the back straights. I guess this would be the middle straight, or the third straight. This time we take this hairpin a lot better than we did the first 2 laps. But as you can see, as we go off track and do a little gardening there, Bush has closed 2 seconds on this lap already. So that'll give you an idea of how fast he really is. Heading into this, we just lift a little bit for that corner and then slam on the brakes, get into third, come out, get a little distance on Voldemort, go into the chicane. Again, we're coming into the end of lap 3. And Bush has just dispatched Voldemort with ease. We're going to run our fastest lap, even though it doesn't mark it as much as it was dirty, 1:30.2. The Bush is already 7/10 of a second behind me, and Voldemort's starting to fall back a little bit, knowing that he can't catch Bush, but he can catch me. So I think he just fell back a little bit to give Bush some room. But as you can see, he's already on me. I'm going to do an inside and try and defend here. He's just so fast. Little early break because we don't want to hit him coming understeering out of the corner. Very clean pass here. So kudos to Bush. Well done. Voldemort is still a half a second behind, but we're going to get a little pull here from Bush and kind of try and stay in his toe as long as we can. And now we're out of it because once you get past 7/10, you're basically out of the draft. So he's gone. And our concern is Voldemort here on lap 4. Because Voldemort and I are basically keeping the same pace. But we're going to find out later why. Bush goes a little wide there, giving me a little glimpse of hope. Come through the chicane. A lot of people exit that pretty high, and I think it cuts their speed a little bit, so I try and stay as low as I can there, so it doesn't cut my speed as much. So we're starting lap 5, heading into turns 1 and 2. Again, Bush is going to start pulling away right about here because my handling is not as good as the Audi that he's in apparently. Now I decide I want to be the world's most expensive lawnmower. Cut the grass. It's going to cut some speed off. Voldemort's back on me again. 0.4 of a second. You may notice that I brake a little early for that hairpin. Part of that is on purpose because I like to roll through the corners more than I like to brake and hope that my car sticks there and I don't understeer. So you might find that I do that a little early, but for me I prefer to roll through. I think it's faster. You can tell me what you think in the comments. Also, if you're enjoying this so far, give me a like, subscribe if you want. I'm just having fun doing this, but give it a like if you enjoy what you're seeing. Voldemort's closing again, and we're going to get through the chicane. That is about as close as you can get to going through that without taking track limits, so I'm pretty lucky there. And we just went 1:29.76, which is my fastest lap now. Obviously not close to what Bush is doing, but that's fine. Not really worried about what that car is doing at this point. Gonna head through this lower section here. We're still good. Voldemort's starting to fall back a little bit. I believe that Voldemort started this race on soft tires. We started on mediums. I like to run 8 laps on mediums, 5 laps on soft on this one, just like in the first video at Mid-Ohio. Basically, both tracks are the same, have the same wear pattern on them, so 8 and 5 works. It just works for me. We're starting to obviously fall way back a Bush. He's doing about 2 seconds a lap faster than I am, which is fine. Again, not as concerned about what I'm doing with Bush because dude is an alien. More concerned with Voldemort behind me as we lift into this 6th gear corner here. Voldemort is now fading, so that's good for us. His tires are going worse and worse by the second. Does not pit here, which is interesting. I figure on soft tires, 6 is really the limit. After that, you're just kind of pushing it. I usually do 5 because it ticks over to minor late on the 5th lap. So you can do 6 on them, but 7 is really pushing your tires on that. We're going to see it as Voldemort starts to fall back. Placebo Brock is now 5 seconds back, so we don't really have to worry about him. We don't have to worry about that guy. person. Bush goes into the pits, which surprised me at this point. I thought that might have been early, but again, maybe Bush is on soft tires, and that Audi setup may be better on his soft tires than my car is on mediums. Or better than what Baltimore's setup was on softs. Baltimore also went into the pits, so they're both pitting. They're going to go back on softs. Very sure they were running softs the first 7 laps now. I'm on my 8th. These mediums, they're good. We're going to check them periodically check them. We're pulling away from Placebo Brock. There's Track Soldier in 3rd. We've got a 15/100ths faster lap going on as we're going to head to the pits. We just clicked over to Minor just in time for this hairpin. So, tires are in good shape. As we head down the backside of the course, we're still running a 0.15 faster lap than we were before. So we're running, about as hard as we can on these tires before we have to go into the pit. Now we're going to do that. This is something I do going into the pits. I drop into 2nd because I don't want to get thrown up under the banking and then cut back down. Big risk on hitting that wall there. I've done that a few times in the past, so that's a big risk. We head into the pits. Just want to thank you again for watching, and if you're enjoying the video, give me a like. And if you want to see more, give me a subscribe. Maybe I'll talk over these more. Maybe I'll just not talk over them at all and just let them go. Depends on the mood that I'm in. But you can give me suggestions down there if you wish. I know one thing you may comment on is the fact, oh, you're using the racing line. I have a reason for that. I do know these courses fairly well. My problem is, in one of my eyes, I have a gigantic floater, and when I'm racing or doing anything else for that matter, it tends to cut in front of my lens in the right eye, and it hits my depth perception and affects my vision. So I use this as a guide. I don't use it as something where, oh, I have to brake here, oh, I have to be on top of it. Because sometimes this isn't the best line through a corner. So I'm not always on it, but I'm on it a lot, but it's more of a guide for me than it is oh, I have to be on top of this. Now we're trying to haul into lap 9. We're catching up to Sense 420. I think that's what that's supposed to be. I hope those two number 1s aren't something else. Or it could be Clint's 420. I don't know. But we're catching up to him at a rapid pace and the car in front of us. So they are probably on hard tires. Just because of the way I'm catching them right now. As we head into 2. Looks like Tanner Jupiter got bumped off. We're going to brake a lot earlier because we don't want to rear end Tanner Jupiter even when he just decides to ram me coming into that corner, but we don't want to ram him because that's not good. I try and play as clean as I can. I don't do the dirty. So we're going to outbrake. Here's where rolling through the corner works really well. It gives me a little more acceleration being on the outside, and I don't have to. I also have the soft tires, so I've got a big tire advantage on it, so it doesn't matter. But he held us up a little bit. We fell behind Clint's by about 0.8 of a second after all that. But now I'm starting to take this hairpin a lot better. That may be the best I took at the whole race right there. It took me 10 laps to get it right. Now we're starting to reel in Clint's again. He's 1.6. Again, he's not gonna. That corner is not dependent on tires, but this next series is. Especially this chicane here, coming to the end of the lap. We've cut almost a second off since we went in. About half a second off since we went into that high-speed corner after the hairpin. So we're catching him fast. Tanner Jupiter's gone to the pits. He's given up the ghost on his tires. Looks like Clint's is going to try and do this on a nose stop, which is, I mean, if you want to do that, that's fine. But it's not as fast. He's in a Lavorg though, so the tire wear isn't as horrible. Lavorgs are really good on tire wear. They're really bad at speed. So you kind of pay the price for one or the other. Now we're back in fourth. I thank Clint's for not fighting me. Some guys that are on worn tires will fight you, even though you are much faster than they are. They will fight, and that's kind of irritating. So good on Clint's there for letting me go by after I got to him. So now we're getting up to Halios. Halios is 4 seconds away, starting to reel him in for third. Also going with no stops. But we've only got a couple laps to go, so will we catch him? Who knows? We'll try. We will try. We're going to set another fast lap here, 1:28.4. That's pretty darn good for me. I usually run around there as my fastest lap on this track, so I'm pretty happy with that. We're heading into 3, now we're going down to 4. These are slow corners. We're catching Halios up with rapid effect. It's down to 1.5 seconds as we head down to the hairpin for turn 5. Now we're starting to use our tire advantage. Made up half a second in that corner. That's the tire advantage we have right now. He's in a Hyundai Elantra, so hopefully we can dispatch with him. The Elantra's a pretty quick car, so we need to get around him as soon as we can. Bush is gone. Not even worried about Bush. We're not going to catch Bush, so not worried about that. So we're taking this corner, 120 miles an hour. Now we're starting to really get into Halios, but this is not the place to pass someone. The chicane is not the place to pass a car. And I got a good run out of there. His is about the same. So, we're still saying 0.3 of a second apart, but now we're getting back into the infield section again, and I'm going to have a severe handling advantage here as I try and pass him into 2, but couldn't get there. Got squeezed a little bit toward the inside. That's fine. I didn't leave the track. I'm not going to be pissy about that. I'm going to drop into second here so I can get a better run out of the corner, which I did. I'm going to move over. Halios is going to try and squeeze, but he's keeping it clean, so thank you for that. And once we break into this corner, I know his tires can't hold, so I'm going to brake later. And now we're looking at third place. Bush and I congratulate each other on a good race. His is obviously much better than mine. 23 seconds ahead, and gone, basically. Now we're worried about getting to Track Soldier, who also has not pit. And we just gained a second in that hairpin, so his tires are shot. So what's going to happen? Definitely looks like we're going to get inside his penalty. As we go around that corner, I give it a little more beans. We're up over 120 in there. As we head into the chicane, we've shaved more off his time. Now we're going to come out of this, and his tires are shot, so I'm able to get around him. And hey, 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 second place for the big fella. How about that? Wasn't expecting a second place out of that at all going into that final lap, but there it is. So here you see Bush's lap. Fast lap was 126.1, and mine was 128.4, which was the second fastest lap of the race. So second place is great. That makes me happy. So awesome. Very happy day. Here comes the podium ceremony, which we all love. Track Soldier gets third. He had a really fine race without stopping. There's my second place, and congratulations to Bush. Phenomenal run. Thank you all for watching, and I hope you have a fantastic day, and I hope you watch the next one coming soon.